What is indisputable now is this. The Biden plan is working. The Biden plan produces results, and the Biden plan is moving the country forward.
Okay, we'll see. President Biden today claiming the addition of 943,000 new jobs in July, which is a great number, is proof that his economic plan is working. It comes after the Labor Department released its monthly jobs report showing employers hiring 93,000 more jobs than they did in June, which was also a good month. But as Biden takes credit for all of this, a recent CNBC All-America economic survey shows 51% of Americans are pessimistic about the current state of the economy, up 14% from the last 3 months, as we spend ourselves into oblivion with money we don't have. It also shows Biden's job approval on the economy has dropped 10 points since April. For more on this, we're going to bring in business and market analyst Seth Denson, also the author of The Cure, a blueprint for solving America's healthcare crisis. Seth, good to see you. What did you make of this jobs report? It shocked me how good it was. A couple days ago, they had the private sector report, and it was terrible. What was your reaction to this?
Well, listen, I think mixed emotions, right? Listen, I'm an American first, and I'm always happy when I hear good news in the labor market. It's interesting, though, that the administration likes to cherry pick information, sharing this good news, but dodging what you just mentioned was the ADP report that came out earlier this week, saying that the private sector missed their mark by over 50% of projections. And so we do have this mixed bag in the economy. If you look at it and actually start diving into the numbers, a couple of key things out of this report that I thought were really telling as well were that retail jobs lost 6,000 jobs. There's over 8 million available jobs right now in the United States. So yeah, we may have filled 900,000 of them. We got a whole lot more left to go if we just stop paying people to stay home. And the other piece that the administration was quick to jump was wages grow. Now, wages grew 0.4%. Well, my last check showed that inflation was 4%. So, we're about 10 times closer to that inflation rate with that 0.4% wage increase. We got a long way to go when wages will catch up to the inflation that's caused by this monetary policy.
Yeah, I am always so skeptical when I see policy that is so clearly wrong and is so clearly just not good policy if you're trying to push business and push people to work, and then you see jobs numbers go up. I'm always skeptical. The Senate leader, Chuck Schumer, right now is trying to get a vote on $1.2 trillion in infrastructure. And they want to follow that with another $3.5 trillion. They're trying to push this thing through before they leave for their nice long month vacation, of course, after the Senate failed to expedite the process yesterday. We just saw the text of this last week. It's 2,700 pages long. Here's some kid holding it. I mean, look at all that. Nobody's reading this thing. The Wall Street Journal reporting it's filled with financial gimmicks, waste, and expansions of Washington power, giving the feds unprecedented and centralized control over chunks of the economy. Quote, Washington will now dictate rules in areas that have traditionally been managed by local authorities, like drinking water and private sector companies like broadband. So basically federalizing some of these things. Your thoughts on all of that? I mean, it's quite a conundrum.
Yeah, Robin, you hit the nail on the head that nobody's read it. Well, I'll tell you somebody who's read a big chunk of it, me. I started reading it, and I will tell you what I found on page 508 is this new process that the government is going to pilot, which is a per mileage fee. They're not calling it a tax, but they're calling it a fee, a per mileage fee for every mile you drive. This is going to be piloted by Secretary Buttigieg's department to see if they can implement it. And here's why they need to do that. You mentioned it. They're going to push for a $3.5 trillion deal. The only way that gets through is going to be through reconciliation, which means it has to pass the Byrd rule, which means they have to show new taxes to pay for all that spending. That's the only way it gets through on reconciliation. Get ready. That $1.2 trillion, it gave them the blueprint for the new taxation.
It's so scary. I mean, we have no money. We are so pathetically broke, and all they want to do is spend more, and then they tell you that their policies work and that they're making the economy better. Let's talk about all the push for more handouts. Today, the White House Press Secretary Jen Psaki defending the administration's push for more COVID-related government benefits, despite some indications that it's not good. Let's take a look at this.
It is still a reality, even with a good jobs number this month, and even with 4 million jobs created over 6 months, that there are still people out of work. There are still people who don't have enough money to make ends meet. That's one of the reasons why we designed the American Rescue Plan to have a long-term, spread-out impact.
So in September, the added unemployment ends. We hope that will help, right? I mean, that's what we're all looking forward to, is what What will happen when we stop paying people a whole lot of money to sit around?
Well, my fear is that we saw kind of maybe an indicator of what the administration might do with the CDC's now expansion of the eviction moratorium. Is that now setting us up for come September an expansion of unemployment benefits once again? Listen, we talked about it, I think maybe even last week, Rob, when I said the only true long-term stimulus for the American economy is the American worker. And until we get them back to work, the economy is going to not be naturally stimulated. But I think this is part of the Democrats' playbook. They know as long as they've got the nanny state in control, the nanny state may allow them to be reelected. And my fear is that come September, we may be talking about more money. And Jen Psaki maybe tipped her hand because she can go either way with that answer, right? Our package helps it be better. If it was worse, she could say, we need more of our package to help sustain it.
I think you're exactly right. I think they're gonna scream Delta variant or Lambda variant or whatever, and they're going to say we need to keep people on the dole, and they like that. And they're just trying to fight that with a good economy, and if they can get their numbers without giving up that added unemployment, they certainly would love to do that. Seth Denson, always making it easy to understand. Thank you so much for the time.
Thanks, buddy.
All right.